G'day and welcome back. I wonder if those two are ever going to stop fighting. As you may have guessed, I've got another radio sent over by Graham, the Radiocruncher in the UK.
G'day.
It was actually sent to Graham by Geoff Cooper. Geoff contacted me a few months ago and said, look, I've got 2 more radios here. Do you want one of them? I'll send it to Graham. He can send it to you. So he did that. I picked out this Ekco radio and it's a beauty. The first radio Geoff sent me was a Hacker Mayflower 2 and I serviced that and got it working. I use that as my daily driver, as they say. And it's a ripper of a radio. It really works really well. It's FM only. The Ekco that Geoff has sent me now is FM, but it's got AM as well. It's probably got long wave. If you're not familiar with Graham's channel, it's called Radiocruncher. He does a live stream every Sunday at around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's got a little chat on the side there and has a beer and they chat away. It's really interesting. I enjoy watching it. Unfortunately, by the time it's here, it's actually about 11 o'clock at night. And I'm generally in bed, so I have to catch up the next day. But always good fun to join into the chat, and everyone knows each other. It's quite good fun. Graham did a stream on this radio. He changed the coupling capacitor and turned it on, and it worked.
It works!
So all I have to do is clean it up and change the normal components that need replacing after all this time. Poor Graham had to pack this into boxes and send it off. The first freight company he used rejected it for unknown reason, so he got it back the next day. He then sent it through another company and it came straight over, so we don't really know what was wrong with the first one, but anyway, it got here in the end. Prior to Graham doing this one, I'd sent him a little radio, a New Zealand radio. I think he did about 4 weeks of it and got it all working. It looked really good. And when I sent that little radio to Graham, I put this board in front to protect the screen, and it got quite a bit of a laugh when he revealed it on the show. Here it is here. It's one corner of the painting by Van Gogh called the Café Terrace, I think. Of course, the chat's having fun thinking I'm cutting up Van Goghs to use as packing. I've got so many paintings lying around. Anyway, I left that packing there because it was hiding something that's happened to the radio during transit. And here it is here. The dial glass is broken. Graham had that board all the way around there. It wasn't touching the glass. That's just broken due to flexing or whatever else has happened during transit. I should be able to do some sort of repair to it, but yeah, that's a real pity. Now, I will point out, Graham packed this beautifully. It was double boxed. It was packed everywhere. There was packing everywhere. It took me ages to get it out. So it's nothing Graham did. It's just something that's happened. So I'm not blaming Graham at all. So I'll just ignore the broken glass for a minute. We'll check out what else is on this radio. The radio's got Graham, VHF or FM, medium wave and long wave. It's an Ekco A355. It's got a magic eye in there. It has a very nice expanded metal grille on the front. There's a little bit of dirt there and another one here somewhere there. I think that's just dirt. I'm not sure. That might be a dent. It's got volume and tone, so out is volume and the inside one is tone, although it's turning the whole thing, so that needs to be sorted. This one's tuning and it's not moving the indicator there. So it's got a couple of things to look at there. I'll turn it around, we'll look at the back. There's the back. Ekco, so it was Eric Kirkman Cole was the guy's name that founded the company, so he called it Ekco. 250 volts, 50 cycles, so it'll work fine here. There's an AM directional antenna there. A bit tight, but it's there. There's the 2 AM FM antennas. Output for a tape recorder, input for a pickup, and provision for an external speaker. You unscrew that and you mute the internal speaker. I'll remove the back and we'll have a look inside. I have the back off now. There's the power lead. I don't know if he's left the plug on it. No, he's taken the plug off. All right. I'll put a new one on. A little English daddy long legs there.
Jolly good show!
I don't know what they are. They're labels that have fallen off from somewhere in the set. Something I just realised is the chassis is on little stilts. It's sitting up quite high off the bottom of the box. FM module at the back there, the single valve, so that'll be an ECC 85. That'll be an ECH 81 mixer. There's an IF amplifier there, EF 95 or something. That'll be the detector and the preamp, so that'll be an EABC 80. I don't know what that is, probably an EL 84 maybe. There's the main smoothing cap, looks like 250 microfarad capacitors. Transformer, multi-tap. Ah, look, there's where one of those stickers was, on there. Actually, I can see some more up here. There's 2 more up here, stuck in a cobweb, I think. There's one of them, and that's off the transformer. So 200 to 210, 220 to 230, 240 to 250. So it's on the 240 to 250 at the moment. Just give me a minute. There's 4 bolts on the bottom here, and this should all come out. I might have to take the knobs off maybe, but that'll come out. We'll have a look at it, and we'll have a look at the chassis. I'll see what I can do with that broken dial glass. The chassis is out, and here's the broken bit of glass. It's actually broken off twice there. I thought it was only just broken up here. And it's a little bit odd. This piece of glass here really doesn't want to go back where it was, I don't think. Yeah, don't know. Anyway, I'll remove it now and put it aside. I've got to go and get some adhesive to put it back together. There's just some little clips at the ends there. Oh God. Well, that's it upside down, and I've pushed it together. Yeah, look, that should close up reasonably well. I'll never hide it, but it should look like one piece anyway. The first thing I'll have a look at is the tuning, and as we saw before, it won't move. In fact, you can see that it's displacing that, and I can turn the shaft reasonably easy. So it'll be in this tuning capacitor for the AM. I have some Servosol here. I'll just spray the bearing areas. I'll have to do this properly when I get it outside in my workshop. But hopefully this will loosen it up. It's putting up a fight here. It doesn't want to move. Give it another dose. It'll just be dried grease probably in that bearing there. It feels awful. I'll just spray back here as well. Okay, it's working its way in there, so I'll just run it through a few cycles. It'll be good enough. I just want to check the radio, see what the symptoms are before I start doing any repair work. Alright, that's got that working. When Graham was working on it, he had one of the keys stuck down. But it's coming. They sound dry. It sounds like my knees. Okay. So there they are there. Yeah, they're just tight. Yeah, here's the bottom of it, and this one here, which I think is FM, it's lost its springy return thing, so there's nothing to push it back again. So that's why it's not coming back. It's still very tight though. That creaking is just these springs against this part here, I think. Alright, so I'm going to have to come up with a plan there. I used a bit of Servosol to free up the keys, and what I found was this return spring here isn't broken off, it's in fact cut off, it's not used. Now the Servosol has freed up that FM key, so it is working now. So that's the FM key there, that's the off key. What I found was there's a second switch, and that's up here, and it's operated by a little cable here, or a little string, and there's a pulley there as well. So when you operate this key, it pulls on the string and operates this switch. So you lock it in, there it is there. There's a spring up here, and that is the return spring for this key. The switch behind this key here will be doing most of the switching for the audio, so between Graham and AM, whatever it is, it'll kill that off and feed it off the FM. And this switch up here will be killing off the AM RF stage when you go to FM, and vice versa when you go to AM, it'll kill off the FM. The contacts on that switch are pretty dirty. I'll give them a spray with deoxit, and hopefully that'll clean them up. A bit of a run. We'll see how it goes. If it's working, then we won't worry about it. Yeah. Before I put power on, I'll have a quick look around. I can see a black plastic cap there. It might be alright. Early model poly cap. Carbon composite resistors. We'll have to check them and see if they're okay. There's an electrolytic there. I'm not sure what that one's for. There's a little one there. That'll be the FM balancing cap or smoothing cap. Another one there. Maybe a screen smoothing cap. And that one's on the EL84, so that's probably the cathode bypass cap. There's the two main smoothing caps, 50 microfarad. There's the capacitor that Graham replaced. Everything looks pretty good, so I'll put some power on it. Graham's had power on it anyway. I did see a Hunts capacitor somewhere. I can't see it at the moment, but there is one somewhere. It might be on the top. It's all set up for a test. I've connected an AM and an FM antenna. I've got it on dim bulb. I'm on the shop speaker. So I'll just put this on and we'll see what the bulb does. Doesn't do anything, you've got to push a button. It's AM. That looks normal. Got the lights on. This one's the volume. It's got some scratching. Ooh. I tried that. That's not working. I'll do it up here. So my permanent repair to the tuning capacitor hasn't done anything. There it goes.
Not a Tamworth.
The red lights are on now. In front. Separate.
So it's still on dim bulb.
A restaurant called the Chelsea in King's Cross. It was kind of like a very decorated figure on the Sydney social scene, and you know,
It certainly works all right. Oops, wrong way.
Electricity. That's useful. Gas. That's also useful. Internet.
I think that's the ABC, so that's the last station, I think. Yeah. Okay, so come back. There's Journey there. I'll go to FM. I'll try that out. It's working already. I don't remember what Graham tested, whether it was AM or FM or both. It's working alright.
Alcohol, but not zero. Drinking less alcohol or not at all is a positive health decision that you can make.
Dakka dakka.
Road, right through to Discovery driving M1 through Helensvale. I'm about to make the end of the latest details after 3:30 on ABC Gold Coast.
It really is very busy.
So, that's the Gold Coast. That's ABC that we'll listen to an AM on the FM.
Yes,
I think. Well, that's the Gold Coast, but it'll be the same program. There are local stations up here somewhere. That'll come through loud and clear. Oh, no, we're going past it. Oh, maybe it's not.
Get one free on Falcon ZX ZE310R Eco-Run tyres for passenger and selected SUV vehicles. That's buy three and get one free.
So that's working.
But only at Tyre Power.
Phone switch is a bit noisy. There's no hum at all, so that capacitor is working fine. Yeah, you start to think, do you leave it there? It's pretty old. I'll change. I'll put some new ones in.
Showrooms across Southeast Queensland, you'll be inspired by the latest wardrobe styles, designs and storage solutions.
Yeah, alright. Well, it all works. We don't have long wave here, so I won't test that. So what I'll do now, I'll take it outside, I'll clean all this off, get all the dust off so we can see what we're doing, change some capacitors and test some resistors, and it's probably about all. The alignment looks pretty good. It'll only be the RF alignment on the dial there. Speaking of the dial, I might go and glue that up now so it can harden for a good 24 hours before I need to try and handle it again. The dial glass support on the left hand side of the set has got a bend in it. There's a clip down there that clips onto the glass. The glass sits along here, and there's another clip goes there. So it was trying to bend the glass. Now the glass had cracked up here, and I said to you the glass doesn't really want to sit back where it should. And if you look sideways at the hole, I'll just put this little plastic strips there, you can see the bend up the top there. So somewhere along the line that's been bent back. It stressed the glass during transit. It's all been too much and it's just cracked. Alright, I've put the glass on a piece of MDF wood so it's nice and flat. I've stretched some cling film on there to maybe the glue won't stick quite as much. It doesn't really matter because I can just use a razor blade to get it off. I've got some Loctite glass here, so I'll put some of that along here, push it together, and it should glue within a few seconds apparently. Alright, I'll push the two together. Alright, that's lined up. I'll just hold it for a second or two and it should grip. I've put some glue on this end one and I'll just glue this together now. I'll just hold that until it sets. I'll just let that set. It says it glues instantly, but I'll let it sit for 24 hours or so and it should be good to go. The adhesive on the glass is dried. I'm not particularly happy with it. Doesn't look good at all. You can see where the crack is. I did black out the back a bit, but you know, it really doesn't look good. So I've cut a new dial out on my vinyl cutter. I've also cut 2 pieces of glass and I've got them out in my workshop and I'm going to iron them on. This is the sticker. I'm going to iron that on. I've cut a piece of glass. I'm going to have to put 2 layers of glass. This will sit in the middle, then there'll be another layer of glass on the top. That's because if I try and iron it on that way, it gets little bubbles in it and you can see them. If I iron it on in the middle, you don't see the bubbles. So I'll do it that way. We'll see how it goes. I've positioned the sticker on top. I have some baking paper and I'll just put that over the top. And I have my iron heated up here. So we just carefully lay it on, hasn't moved, and just heat it until it sticks. Now I'm trying to push the bubbles out. I'm moving the iron on slowly to melt the vinyl underneath. I have to let that cool completely, then I can peel off that top plastic layer. I'm going to try and peel it off. I don't think it's worked. I think it's kind of damaged the vinyl a bit. Yeah, it's just not sticking to the glass for some reason. It usually sticks pretty well. No, it's a mess. This is not working at all. I'll try and roll out the little bubbles that it's come up with. Yeah, this really hasn't worked very well at all. Normally you leave the little letters in there and peel off the big large black pieces, but I needed to do it the other way around and it really doesn't like it. Look, it's not bad. I actually cracked it with the iron. So this has got a crack through it as well. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Over the next few days, I tried various methods. I put the sticker on the back of the glass, it looks awful. I put the sticker on the front of the glass, it looked awful. I even went out and bought a proper press for putting these stickers on to try and even the heat out, and it still didn't work. Trying to get the large areas of vinyl to stick to the glass successfully, it just doesn't seem possible. So I've given up on that. Instead, I started again. I redrew it all in a drawing program. I took it to the local printer and they printed it on some thin glossy paper. And I cut this out and glued it on there. I also cut the slots where it was clear on the old glass. I then put a piece of clear acrylic on there, that's 1 mil thick, so the total thickness is about 3 millimeters thick, which is the same as what the original glass was. And here it is, and it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's not quite as deep perhaps as the original, but it's good enough. I've cut those slots, you can see. And because I cut that slot out, I lost the numbers that were there, so I printed them on some vinyl and I've just glued them on there. So they look pretty good. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it, and it looks okay on the radio. The light still shines through these parts here, and yeah, not quite as good as the original, but I think it'll do. I'm out in the workshop and I'll just evaluate this. I think the first thing I'll do is take the valves out. We'll get them out of the way. It looks like it has a layer of dust on it. Yeah, it's pretty much just dust, I think. Put a bit of acetone on there and see if that cleans it up any better. So that's going to clean up nice. That's easy. Yeah, that'll be an easy one to clean. The back plate looks about the original colour and it's pretty clean anyway. So I'll just wipe that clean, I think. I don't think I need to repaint that. This tuner's working a lot better, but it's still very tight. So I might try and get something in there while it's out here, and if I have to pull it apart, I'll do it inside. This is the tuning condenser. There's a ball bearing down there, and I'll just try and get some oil and grease remover in there. I'll try and agitate it with a brush. There's a bushing here on this pulley, and the grease on that is very dry. I'll also clean that up and try and clean the grease out, or the old grease. That'll free it up. Failing that, I'm going to have to pull the whole mechanism apart. I think it's helped a little bit, but it's still not right. I'll look at it further when I'm inside. The cleaning should be pretty simple, so I'll do all that out here, and then I'll go back inside and we'll finish looking at this tuning capacitor. The chassis is back inside now, and I need to get this tuning capacitor sorted before I try and do anything else. That is really tight still. Cleaning out those bearings didn't seem to do anything. I've been looking at it for a couple of minutes, and I notice when I turn this, the string goes slack. So that means there's a restriction in the dial string. There's a pulley at this end, and it turns. It's tight. That really needs lubricating. There's another one here. That's all right. That's turning. There's another one right down here. Oh, I can't turn that at all. Ah, okay. Let's go back to the end of that one again, and it's got a little cap on the top. This is what they used to put on pram wheels and things. I'm not sure if that's going to come off. No, it might do. This is the problem one, and I'm using the camera, so I'm like a dentist. I'm doing everything backwards. Oh, just fell off. I didn't expect that. I'll put a bit of tape around here so we don't lose the whole lot. I'll try and tape that on there. I'm not sure that's going to be very successful. See if I can lift that off there. Okay. Those pulleys are frozen on the shaft. I can't move them, so I'll take this one here off. That'll give me better access. I'll see if I can get it to move at all. There, it's turning. Will it come off the shaft? It seems to be coming off as one piece. It is moving now, so give me a second, I'll get this off. I think that is, oh, there it goes. I was going to say it's just about off, and it is. Here it is, and surely these two need to be separate. They've got to rotate in different directions. But they are not. They are stuck. I'll see if I can split it with a knife. They've got to rotate different directions, surely. Wow, maybe they're not. Ah, there we go. Oh, maybe they weren't joined together. They can't. They have to go like that. They have to. Alright. With that pulley out, I'll see if that's fixed this. It has. Yeah, so the pulley was the problem. They look like they were glued together. Anyway, I'll clean them up and put them back together and see how we go. I'll also run a 1/8 drill through them. Just it's pretty loose anyway. See, that one's tight. I'll try and clean the shaft with some acetone here. Let's see if that'll go on better. Oh, think of that. That's much better. Put his cap on. Okay. Now they spin freely. I'll put back that other pulley that I took off to get access, and that one spins freely. Let's see if that's sorted it out. No, it hasn't. What the? Really? Oh, it's still tight. Oh no. This end pulley's a bit tight too, so I'll do the same as I did to that one down here and see if that helps. I've removed and cleaned all those pulleys around the drill through them. This is the back of the tuning capacitor. This is the bearing that puts some pressure on the shaft. I'll just back that off a little bit and see if that helps. Let's see if that's made any difference. It's still very hard to turn. I'm going to have to get in here. I'll take this pulley off here. I have the tuning capacitor fully closed. I'll just put a mark down there to align it. It really can't go any other way. There's two screws holding this bracket on, so I'll remove them. And now the top one. Let's see if that is free to go. It is. It's pretty free. It's got a little bit of... No, it's not bad now. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. So the only thing left is this. And that is tight. It's not seized though, it's tight. I'll pull this apart. It is pretty tight, so that may be the problem. It's got a C-clip there, I think. Not much to it, is there? I'll go and clean that up and re-grease it, and we'll see if that sorts things out. I've cleaned all the old grease off, and I'll just put some new stuff on there. And that spins much freer. Put the circlip back. That's much better. That's way better. Okay, that may fix it. I'll reassemble it off camera. I've got a wireless string on, that'll take a bit, and I'll lubricate this while I have that pressure off the back there. I'll lubricate this and lubricate the back there as well. So I'll do all that and I'll come back. Well, I managed to get it all back together. It's working very well. I also tightened the spring up there a little bit. I shortened the cord and I can now run up and down the dial freely. I think it was a combination of a lot of things. The pulleys, this thing mainly probably, but I think there was a lot a lot of it was gummed up, not just one thing. And that double pulley that I split behind here actually does turn in the same direction at the same time, so I didn't need to split that at all. It won't make any difference, but yeah, I didn't need to do that. Anyway, it's all working perfectly. The FM module and the AM tuner are all on one base, and if we look down at the rubber mounts there, they're still working, but they're not in the best of condition, so I'll try and replace those. I've got the chassis on its back and I can get to these screws. That's the original grommet. I don't have anything that thick, so I'll have to use a normal grommet, and then I've got a spacer here and I can put that on, and that'll come out the same thickness as the original. I've assembled the grommets into the holes. I'll try and do the screws up into the bottom of the module here. The second one's going in. That seems to be doing the job. There's two on the other end I'll do off camera. I replaced the two mounts at this end as well, so that's mounted quite nicely now. I was hoping to do this all in one episode, but the tuning problem set me back, and the broken dial glass held things up as well. While we're on the dial glass, I'll show you how these get bent, and it's when you lie it down like this, and it sits there and sits on the ground, and these both bend up, both of these tangs. If you're working on one of these radios, just be aware that that's how they bend, and the glass will break. When Graham looked at this on his live stream, he didn't even take it out of the case, so he had nothing to do with the dial breaking. So although we didn't get very far this week, I hope you enjoyed what we did, and I hope you can join me next time for my next radio adventure.